Hey everyone, this is Boba from the Mari server. I'm here to do a video on the new Close Combat Renovation update that just got released on Mabi. So let's get started. There's a lot to cover here. We've got 3 new skills and a bunch of other new updates on Close Combat. So let's go. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to know is that Smash now has some debuffs to the enemies. For this case, if you're holding a sword, you can smash and then have a chance of debuffing enemies by doing a bleed damage. So this one right here is a bleed damage with swords. This one right here is going to be the blunt damage causing daze to the enemy. You can see it's a little bit confused right now, it's all green and everything. And you've got to use a blunt weapon for this and smash with it as well. Do know that the debuffs only really work with smash, not with normal attacks. Alright, so the next debuff is a debuff caused by an axe weapon, and this is basically any axe weapon with smash, and you can see that it's going to cause a blue effect, and this debuff is a defense and protection reduction on the enemy. So you can do more powerful attacks. Alright, so the next one that they updated was the defense skill itself. Before, if you had defense and you held a shield, you couldn't run, but now you can run. So you can see right now, if you have defense on, you can run with a shield. I believe it doesn't work if you don't have a shield. So just keep that in mind. If you have a shield now and you use defense, you can run with it. And the next thing that they updated was counterattack itself. Before counterattack, you can only stay in one place, and right now you can still do that with a certain weapon, but now with a sword or blunt weapon or even an axe weapon, you can move around with counterattack. So that's pretty darn useful. But with any other weapon, it won't work. You will still stay in place. Just know that any sword, blunt weapon, or axe, you can move around with counterattack now. The next thing that they updated was Final Hit. Final Hit now has a meter bar that shows how long it'll last, and it's a little bit more stronger, and at the same time, when enemies try to knock you back, it's not going to cancel Final Hit anymore. As you can see, nothing's happening. You can also use potions and items and stuff like that while you're using Final Hit now, so that's pretty darn useful if you're getting damaged while using Final Hit. The next thing that they updated was basically Charge and Assault Slash. With Charge, you can now do a splash damage to other enemies that you charge into, and also with Assault Slash, you can do a splash damage as well. So as you can see, I'm going to do Assault Slash right about now, and then bam, you can have some splash damage with it. So that's pretty nice. But do know that it only works with a sword, blunt, or axe weapon. Now there are some other things that I can't show you guys because I'm not a giant, but they also updated Stomp, and basically for Stomp, the damage and range has been increased and it automatically activates after being loaded, and rank 9 effect of striking behind the user now occurs at all ranks. Also, Giant Full Swing's cooldown has been decreased as well. Another thing that they updated was the Light Armor Mastery and the Heavy Armor Mastery's defense and magic defense, and they're basically increased right now, so you can kind of see that a little bit. Another thing to keep in mind is that the rapiers and the wooden blade weapons, despite being that they're swords, they're actually not affected to the new adjustments of the combat renovation. So do keep that in mind. The rapiers is basically anything that's called rapiers and makes its stance, this kind of stance right here, or even the Lambient Light is considered as a rapier as well, so do keep that in mind that they're not affected by the sword changes as well. Another thing that has been added was a bunch of new combat related enchants. I'm not really going to list them all, I'm just going to let you guys figure that out. It's probably on the website somewhere, on the Mabi website. But they've also added new weapons as well, new weapons that we can craft. Now these new weapons are the new Celtic Weapons, and they are crafted by materials very similar to the Gargashi materials, except they don't come from a raid. They actually come from elite or hard mode shadow missions or the hard mode dungeons. So there's only a few hard mode dungeons like Albi, Rundal and Sierra. If you guys notice, if you go to the dungeon room, there's a back room. Basically, you have to go through that room and drop an advance pass, and that's how you can get guaranteed materials for your weapons. Now do keep in mind that the materials you need might not come from one dungeon. You're gonna have to go through a few dungeons to get the ones that you need. Here's an example of Rundal hard mode dungeon. At the end chest reward, you're gonna get a material, and each chest usually has a guaranteed material drop for each player in the dungeon. As you can see, I got some materials right here, and that is basically what you're gonna need to craft your Celtic weapons. Also, do keep in mind that some of these materials are super expensive, and if you decide not to make the weapon, you can always sell them, or trade them to your friends or guildmates that do need it. If you want to make the weapon, you're going to need to go to Bangor and get the blueprint from Gilmore, and you'll need to have also a high rank blacksmith. So that is basically getting the materials for the Celtic weapons. Now on to the 3 new skills that they just added to Mabby. So here are the 3 new skills. It's Bash, Rage Impact, and Dual Wield Mastery. Now basically for Dual Wield Mastery, it's just basically holding 2 weapons in your hands, and you're going to automatically learn it. And Bash and Rage Impact you're going to have to do a side quest for. Now, for Bash, you basically load the skill and you can use it and charge it up to 5 times. And each time as you charge it, you can see that on the skill list, the percentage damage increases. Rage Impact is basically like using Support Shot, but it's like an AoE, and you can hit multiple enemies and kind of stun them for a bit, and they basically get hurt more from the next melee damage. Alright, so here's an example of my character using Bash and a Rage Impact in a solo Gerd raid. Now as you can see, I'm loading up some Bash. I'm going to hit it again and again and load it again and again until I get to the 5th charge, the highest charge, and use Rage Impact for more damage on that 5th charge, and just constantly just keep bashing non-stop. You can see that my character is kind of doing it really quickly, and in order to do that, you're going to need a fast hit weapon, or I believe a normal hit weapon will do. Just going to fast forward a bit, and you can see that this whole run I'm only doing just bashing non-stop, nothing but bashing this one. And you can see it's going really quick. Bash is literally like using Smash, but I feel like there's no stop to it, you know? So this is basically Bash and Rage Impact, and you can really be OP with these 2 skills when it comes to raids or just between bosses in general. And there you have it. That is basically the entire combat renovation update. I really hope that this video was helpful for you guys. If you guys have any other questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comments below and help each other out. Alright, stay awesome guys, and enjoy the new combat renovation update.